The Steelers think they know what Aaron Rodgers will do. A beat reporter said the deal is already done. But there's a problem. There's no contract, no offer, nothing in writing. Something is stopping both sides from moving forward. Something big enough to keep one of football's best players silent. An insider just revealed what it really is, and it explains everything. Last June, Rodgers took until June 5th to sign with Pittsburgh. General manager Omar Khan said this year would be different. "I don't think either side wants this to drag on," Khan said back in February. But 3 weeks into free agency, the Steelers are waiting again. Here's what most people missed. Rodgers chose Pittsburgh specifically because of Mike Tomlin. He wanted to play for Tomlin. He respected the system. Then in January, Tomlin stepped down after 19 seasons. Not fired, but gone. That's a massive shift for Rodgers. The coach who recruited him is no longer there. This matters because the NFL draft is April 23rd. After that, Pittsburgh has to make decisions. Do they develop Will Howard? Do they call Kirk Cousins? None of it happens until Rodgers speaks. Just this morning, owner Art Rooney II made his stance clear. "I expect we'll get an answer before the draft," but he also admitted, "I'm not 100% sure what that means." Last season, Rodgers delivered. The Steelers won the AFC North with him at quarterback and earned a home playoff spot. That's what a 42-year-old does when he still has it. Rodgers threw for 3,322 yards and 24 touchdowns with 7 interceptions. But the playoffs were ugly. Pittsburgh got destroyed by the Texans 30-6 on January 12th. It was one of Rodgers' worst postseason games ever. He threw a pick-6 to Texans safety Callan Bullock and finished with a 50.8 passer rating. That's not the Hall of Famer anyone expected to see. Here's the thing. A 42-year-old quarterback doesn't usually win a division in his first year. That's valuable. That's Hall of Fame level. The Steelers know what they have. The bad ending to the season happened right after Tomlin stepped down. Everything changed overnight. Now Rodgers is trying to figure out if playing in Pittsburgh makes sense without the coach who brought him there. This is the rehook moment. Remember we said something changes Rodgers' thinking? This is it. The Steelers hired Mike McCarthy. Rodgers played under McCarthy in Green Bay and won a Super Bowl with him. McCarthy understands how to build an offense for Rodgers. According to insiders, McCarthy absolutely wants this reunion. "It'd be a great story," McCarthy said when asked about coaching Rodgers, "but it's really cool to see Aaron at 42. That's not frustration. That's someone ready to work with his guy again. McCarthy also noted, "There's definitely a decompressing period that goes on with the older guys after the season, and that's where we are." Translation, McCarthy gets it. He's not rushing Rodgers. Here's where the Steelers front office made a serious move. They spent big money to build Rodgers an offense in the offseason. Michael Pittman Jr. came over from Indianapolis. He's a solid number 2 receiver who can move the chains. Rico Dowdle joined to add depth at running back. And Rodgers gets to keep DK Metcalf, who was already there as the number 1 option. That matters because last year, Rodgers didn't have much help. He had to do too much by himself. Now the Steelers have surrounded him with weapons that fit McCarthy's system. Better receivers, better run game, better options. The Steelers made a statement with these signings. They're not waiting around hoping Rodgers comes back. They're building like he already said yes. Here's something most people aren't talking about. Rodgers played last year on an incentive-heavy deal worth $13 million. That was a prove-it discount. But his agent wants more. Rumors suggest Rodgers' camp wants $20 to $30 million for 2026. That's double. The Steelers are weighing whether they can afford it and still build the rest of the roster. Former Steelers quarterback Charlie Batch said the delay isn't about falling back in love with football. It's about money. Rodgers wants to know Pittsburgh will pay him like a franchise quarterback, not a one-year prove-it guy. That's why there's no contract yet. The Steelers and Rodgers are probably working through the numbers right now. Steelers beat reporter Mark Kaboly made a powerful statement. "I believe the Steelers know already, or at least have a really good idea, that he's coming back. They think they will hear something definitely before the draft. Trust me, he's coming back. So don't overthink this." That's a beat reporter with sources saying the answer is already decided. NBC Sports insider Matthew Berry reported from the NFL Combine. Rodgers is leaning towards playing at least one more year with the Steelers. Leaning towards, not certain. but leaning. ESPN's Adam Schefter said the Steelers were hopeful and optimistic about bringing him back. The team has backup plans, but Rodgers is the preference. Rodgers' headspace matters. Cameron Hayward talked to him recently. He sounded great. He sounded like he was at peace, but he still loves ball. That's different from the Jets' years. He sounded done then. On the Pat McAfee show, Rodgers said he's been relaxing with his wife, but he also dropped something cryptic. He mentioned his situation in Malibu has changed. Some insiders think that's influencing his timeline or his desire to stay on the East Coast instead of California. Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated said, Aaron kind of wanted to fall back in love with football again. That's why he's taking his time. It's not just about football, it's about where he wants to be. It's about the money. It's about his life off the field. This isn't a simple decision. This is where the story gets strange. Rodgers said on air, "There's been no deadline that's been put in front of me. There's no contract offer or anything, so there's nothing I'm having to debate between. I'm a free agent, and again, I'm enjoying my time with my wife." Wait, no contract offer? The Steelers want him back. He's leaning towards coming back, but they haven't put anything in front of him on paper. That's unusual. It suggests something strategic. Maybe the Steelers are waiting for Rodgers to commit to playing before they negotiate money. Maybe they want to hear the decision first. But Rooney's comments matter here. The owner said they expect an answer before the draft so they can finalize their board. That means if Rodgers says no, the Steelers might be forced to pivot to a quarterback in round 1. That's a massive shift in their draft strategy. It's why they want clarity before April 23rd. Pittsburgh has to prepare for Rodgers saying no, even though most people think he'll say yes, and the QB situation is tight. Will Howard is the only quarterback Pittsburgh has under contract for 2026 besides Mason Rudolph. Howard was drafted in 2025. He's never taken an NFL snap in a game. Some people think he could be the future. Others are less sure. The Steelers are confident in him, but they're not banking their entire season on a completely unproven guy with 0 game experience. Mason Rudolph is still there as a backup. He's a career backup who's played in some games. He's not the long-term answer either. Here's why the 23-day deadline matters so much. If Rodgers walks away, the Steelers probably need to use a round 1 pick on a quarterback in the draft. That's a massive shift. It means investing heavily in a young prospect instead of deepening the rest of the roster. Kirk Cousins is still available. He's waiting for a starting opportunity. If Rodgers says no, Pittsburgh could call Cousins as a veteran bridge option while Howard develops. But here's the truth. Nobody thinks that's going to happen. The whole league expects Rodgers and McCarthy to reunite. This isn't just about one team. It's about the AFC North race. Rodgers coming back makes Pittsburgh a playoff threat. Rodgers won the division in his first year. With new weapons and McCarthy's system, the Steelers become dangerous immediately. If Rodgers walks, Pittsburgh takes a major step back with an unproven quarterback. The Ravens and Bengals breathe easier. We're in the final stretch, 23 days until the draft. Rodgers promised to decide faster this year. The Steelers owner expects an answer before draft day. McCarthy is patient but ready. The weapons are in place. Insiders say he's coming back. All that's left is the announcement. Everything points to Rodgers coming back. The McCarthy reunion, the new weapons, winning the division last year, the piece Hayward noticed, the insiders saying it's already decided. When the announcement comes before the draft, it will be the biggest story in football, not because it's shocking, but because it confirms what everyone already knows. Rodgers is running it back. One more shot, one more chance with a coach who won a Super Bowl with him years ago. The story is clear. We're just waiting for Rodgers to say it out loud.